All right, I know the Giants' offense wasn't too great in the 2024 season, but hats off to Giants head coach and play caller Brian Daboll because he found ways to get Malik Nabers the ball despite average quarterback play. And he was able to do that by putting Nabers in motion so he'd be in better position to win his routes. Now, Nabers ran 99 routes, was targeted 50 times, had 37 catches for 407 yards and 2 tutties after some sort of pre-snap motion. I got 3 plays for you guys from the season where Malik made a big play after going in motion. Let's break it down, B. London. All right, let's start this thing off. Giants Commanders, the second game of the season. I got my notes here so I can make sure that I get you guys the information that you need. All right, we talk about motion and how Brian Daboll used Malik Nabers throughout the season. Right now, what you're seeing, the ball's on the left hash. You see a wide bunch. And it's a 3-by-1 formation. You see 1, 2, 3, and then you see 1. Theo Johnson, the lone tight end up there. It's 3-by-1. The wide bunch consists of these 3 guys in the diamond, 3 wide receivers. If it was regular bunch, this point man, Wan'Dale Robinson, would be 3 yards from the end man of the line of scrimmage. That's Jermaine Illuminor, but it's a wide bunch. That's why they're out here. The strength is to the field right now. So 11 personnel, that means 1 running back, 1 tight end, 3 wide receivers out there. So let's get this play started now. You see Malik Nabers goes out in motion, turns the formation into a 2-by-2 with the back to the boundary. You see the running back right here. I believe that's either Tyrone Tracy Jr. or Motor Singletary. Let's rewind when it comes to this motion because the motion tells you a lot. As receivers, Malik's kind of looking down the line, but we've always been told to kind of look at the other side of the ball, look at the defense, because when you motion, the defense is going to tell you what they could be in, what they're in. So now when you see Malik go over, you see 24 right here go with him. That tells you that it's probably man-to-man coverage. Had he stayed, it would have been zone, but it's man-to-man because he came over there with Malik. You can see that here. So everyone's thinking man-to-man. Daniel, DJ, is talking to the line. It could be a protection thing. It could be alert. It could be many things. But now the formation's set. This bunch, this wide bunch, now turns into a wide stack. Stack is for 2 receivers. Bunch is for 3 receivers. Malik Nabers motions over to the bottom of the numbers, top of the numbers, bottom of the. So many people call it so many different things, but it's the bottom of the numbers. The top of the. You see the top of the 4. There's the bottom of the numbers right here. You're looking at the coverage right now, and if he's reading his triangle, you can tell that it's some sort of man-to-man coverage. You see this backer or this safety tucked in, eyes on the tight end, Theo Johnson. You see your corner, eyes on you. You're not really looking over there to the far side of the field anymore, but you can see these guys are locked in. They're ready to play man-to-man. We're going to snap the ball, and then we're going to go through the play and what makes this motion so effective and how Brian Daboll put Malik Nabers in a position to win. If you're going to motion pre-snap, you're motioning to see what the defense is in. You're seeing how they're going to adjust to the motion. And 2, you're putting a player or players in some sort of position, some advantageous position to win. Start the play. Bam. All right, so what do we see here? Snap of the ball. And again, we're looking at Malik. We're looking at the boundary here. And we're going to look at the safeties. Let's start here. So the snap of the ball, let's start with the safeties. You see this single high safety, 1 safety in the middle, turns into what? 2 high. Because now this backside safety is now running over the top. When I talk about man-to-man coverage, if identifying man versus zone, how do we know that it's man right here? Everyone in terms of the defense is looking at their man. This corner is looking at Malik. This corner here, this nickel corner is here. Got hands on Wan'Dale Robinson. This corner here is playing inside man on Darius Slayton. Same thing with Theo Johnson. You see, you got a backer free because they're only rushing 3. This backer is a spy on the quarterback. Daniel Jones is an athletic quarterback. And then you got this backer here that has Theo Johnson. You got this backer here that has the running back. So right now it's a two-man concept. Cover two man. Two high safeties, man across the board. Let's keep this thing going. One thing I love about what Malik Nabers does, and this is a guy that's run shallow crosses. He's run all types of routes at LSU. He's so good when it comes to identifying coverage and running the route, running the technique to get himself open. So you understand that right here, we call this a drag. We call this a drive concept. Number one on the outside, that outside receiver, not number one literally because Nabers wears number one. Number one has the drag, shallow drag, 2 to 4 yard drag. The tight end here, number two receiver, because it's not always the tight end there. He's got the basic. It's an in route. You see Johnson get kind of mushed in he gets kind of pushed in so he doesn't get vertical and get his depth on through his release or through his stem. But we're not talking about Theo Johnson right now. Rookie, he missed a lot of camp. These are things that he got better at throughout the course of the year, but we're looking at one right now. One thing I love about this shallow cross, what he buys time. He gets vertical. He doesn't just go straight in, because if he does, it's cover two man. These corners can't get beat to the inside. That's where you have no help. Yeah, you have a spy there, but that spy, his eyes are on the quarterback because they're only rushing 4. Again, so one thing I love about what Malik does is he gets vertical with his first couple steps to allow the play to develop and allow things to clear out. So now you see this corner playing inside. What I say, they can't get beat to the inside. Malik beats him, and now he's going to use a natural pick. The running backs guy, man, is running into Theo Johnson and is running into his own teammate. So what that's going to do is cause some chaos here, and all Malik has to do is navigate the chaos. You know it's cover two man. I went to the inside. I know I've got all this real estate, all this space down here. Boom. Got exactly what he wanted. Now, a lot of the times, it's your own teammate that runs into the defender, and you get a pass interference call. But right here, it was a natural rub. It was a natural pick because the running backs guy ran into Malik Nabers guy, the corner. Now you know I got all types of space right here. And this is why you draft this kid 6th overall in the draft. Gets the ball, immediately gets north-south. And what I mean by north-south, I don't have a compass right here, right now. But he put his foot in the ground and he starts to get yak. He is a yak receiver. It's one of the things that makes him so deadly. Gets up the field, gets a block here. Here's my favorite part. Takes the shot, but gets up and shows that this kid's got dog in him. So let's run it again from the top. You see the motion? You're now looking over. You see that it's man-to-man. He's got the bottom of the number split right here. He's patient on his release. There's 3 parts to a route: the release, the stem, the finish being the catch. And then there's a bonus part, and that's yak. Now, I can teach guys, young receivers, we can teach you how to get off a press, how to run a route, the stem. We can teach you how to catch. But that yak, that's your mommy and daddy right there. That's your X and Y chromosome right there. If you're special, you're special. So let's finish this play off. Gets the natural pick, great hands catch, gets upfield, and here goes a huge gain. Got lit up at the end again, but this kid is an absolute dog. So I got some more plays for you guys on why Brian Daboll is so effective, or was effective, by putting Malik Nabers in motion and getting the most out of his skill set. He's able to win. Again, what do we see here that is pretty much the same as the Commanders game? This is what, game 3 or 4? It's the Browns game. You're not in the fringe area. You're in the red zone now. Things get a little bit tighter in the red zone. So you have to be creative when it comes to calling plays and getting guys that advantage to run routes and do what they do. We see that same 3-by-1 wide bunch formation to the field. Same thing. Only thing different is now the back is to the field. In the first play, the back was to the boundary. Can mean a couple different things. I'm not Brian Daboll, so I can't tell you right here. Wide bunch. Now what? Malik Nabers motions over. Does anyone come with him? No. Safety bumps. Call this a bump. You see how this guy, this defender, number 3 right here, throws a signal to this safety, and now this safety goes down, and he's the force defender. He's the sky defender. The safety's the force. It's a sky. If it's a corner, it's cloud. If it's a backer, it's buzz. That's who has the force. The B for backer, S for safety, C for corner. So now we know it's some sort of zone over here. Or they could be flipping it. They could be mirroring it. The way that the Browns do it, it does end up being a man-to-man type coverage right here. So they bumped, but they would be able to play man off of it here in the red zone, the tight red, as we like to call it, because the ball's on, 3-yard line. Everything looks the same as the 2-by-2 formation we saw against the Commanders. Again, the only thing different is that running back here, Motor Singletary, being to the field. You want to be able to show the same thing because the defense, they watch tape. They watch tape too. Like we say, defense gets paid too. So the defense now, when you see this, they're thinking in their head, they see the split, they saw the 3-by-1, the motion over to the 2-by-2. Everything looks the same. Now, before, against the Commanders, he ran the drag, or he's ran a bunch of in-breaking routes from that motion. Let the formation and the motion tell the defense a lie. And that's exactly what they did here. So, at the snap of the ball, what do you do? Last time he was patient. He's got that same type of release, that patient release, as he did last time on the drag. But he's not running the drag this time. He does go inside on the stem. He has his release. He had the hesitation on the release. Now he gives that burst on the stem. Theo Johnson is not running the basic this time. He's running the sit route. Malik Nabers goes inside, and we're used to watching him run the under, the slant, the drag, the basic. But here, they switched it up. They had to get creative in the red zone. Sticks his foot into the ground, accelerates to the outside. Daniel Jones makes a big boy throw, and Malik Nabers makes a hell of a catch right here. This is why this kid is so exciting to watch, man. I mean, one, he sold the route. He sold the in route, the basic, stuck his foot into the ground and gave that immediate just go gadget-like athleticism. One, to put his foot into the ground and get out there and to go up for the ball. Not a lot of guys in the NFL doing this. This is why this kid is so dynamic. It looks like he scored a lot of touchdowns at recess when he was a kid. This kid has been a lot of fun to watch. But let's run this play back from the beginning one more time. Again, it's Brian Daboll using motion to put his rookie in an advantageous situation. Let's watch it from the beginning. Daniel knows exactly where he wants to go with that ball. The corner is lost out there. Touchdown Giants. It's teach tape. When you draw it up, when you're in the coaches' meetings and you guys draw it up and they're like, who should we give this route to? Everyone says Malik for a reason, because that kid is that special. Last but not least, since I've gave you guys two of the same kind of formations, this one, let's give you a different formation. Let's give you, again, because you can motion throughout all different formations. And I'm sure a lot of you Madden GMs out here or Madden football guys know, you're always trying to create, again, I say this, but this is what the NFL is. All these guys are big. All these guys are fast. All these guys are smart. You got to find a way to create some sort of advantage for your players. All right, now we're talking about a different personnel grouping here. This time we have 12 personnel. That's one running back, two tight ends, and you see the two receivers. So 12 personnel. So Malik Nabers is here at the top of the screen to the boundary because the ball is on the left hash. So he's here at the boundary. And he motions down to a stack formation with Darius Slayton. So let's watch that. Trayvon Diggs stays over, doesn't come over with him. We're thinking what? Man, or are we thinking zone? Come on, write down in the comments. Hurry up. Man or zone? What are you thinking? Obviously zone. No one came over there with him. The linebacker bumps out to play this stack formation. So he doesn't get to the stack and get set. That's something that throughout the course of the year, he was called on a lot of these illegal shifts or illegal motion penalties because he didn't get set. And I wonder if it was because of these type of releases where when the ball snapped, he's able to just continue to run. But we're not going to get into that right now. He motions down to that stack formation. And now we call this a switch release. You see Slayton is what? +2 split from the hash. It's +2 split. Malik comes down to about a +1. So they're in that stack there. Slayton goes inside. Malik goes to the outside. Now, Darius Slayton is running what we call a deep cross or over route, and one can clear things out or he can get the ball. If it's man-to-man, he is pretty much option number one on man-to-man. You saw him score against the Colts, and you saw him score against the Seahawks with pretty much that same route concept, that same route with that deep over, that deep cross using his speed. But right now, it's not about him. Right now, it's about Nabers. So we see what we see on this his release here. We call this a wide departure release. We want to touch paint. So first, let me run the play first so you guys can see the concept. Boom. He runs that base. He runs that in route. He runs the dig, the 6 route. But he had the wide departure. We call this wide departure. When the ball snapped, he's in a +1 split, and we're told to touch paint. We need to touch paint before we start the stem of the route or slightly during the route. So it's not like you just run straight to the paint, touch it, and then get vertical. No, you're at you're a wide depart. You're at a wide angle to touch, paint, get vertical, and that allows time for that crossing route to really clear things up, clear that zone out. But here's what I really like what Malik Nabers does on this route. Let's break this thing down, man, because this is a rookie who played at LSU, who's wide receiver U. These guys come in NFL ready when it comes to their technique. And then you got a coach, a wide receivers coach like Mike Groh, who's one of the best in the business. Shout out to Mike Groh. Known him since I was a kid, played quarterback at UVA with my uncle was a safety there. And he's coached with my dad at UVA before. All right, here we go. Wide depart. See the wide departure? See him getting to the paint? Now here's what I really like. And young receivers, if you're watching this dig route, it's about 14 to 16. You really can't. You really may not get to 16 because of the wide departure. You're going to lose a couple yards going vertical because of that. So it may be 12 to 14. You want to at least get to 14 because, again, you're trying to allow that crossing route to clear things out here in the middle. But a lot of the times you see inexperienced receivers, when there's collision, they run to the in cut or they run to the out cut. No, Malik Nabers doesn't do this right away. He still tries to fight to get vertical for a couple more steps here to, again, allow this area to clear out. If he was just because he got contact right here, if he was just to run straight into the in route, you'd have a backer sitting right there waiting to pick that ball off. And then the second zone window, that second available window, wouldn't be open as well because there's too many bodies in there. There's too much color in there for Daniel Jones to feel comfortable about throwing that ball. I don't know if that's Daniel Jones or Drew Lock. I believe it's Daniel Jones. So he gets vertical for 2 or 3 more steps, and then he snaps it in, fights through the contact. He draws the illegal contact penalty, but they don't need the penalty here. Now, a lot of the times, depending on what this hook player is going to do, this backer, this safety, a lot of the times it'll be open in that first window. That first window, you could get that ball in that first window. But if not, you have to continue to run across the middle, and that quarterback is going to find you in one of these available windows. 13 has his back to Nabers. He's not a threat here. So Daniel Jones is making an anticipation throw to throw this ball into the second window because he knows, one, this defender is chasing Darius Slayton. His back is turned. And we're talking cover 2 here. 2 high safeties, a cloud corner there. He chose to run. This backer chose to run with the deep cross. He don't know what's going on. He don't know what's behind him because, again, Malik Nabers got his depth on the route. And now this ball is thrown into this second zone window, and he was able to get a little bit of yak off of that. Again, you gotta know, what Coach Coughlin used to say my rookie year with the Giants, and then obviously that second year where I made some plays in the preseason and training camp, and I was able to be active with the Dolphins. You learn these type of techniques from the Plaxico Burress's, from the Amani Toomer's, because these are the things to where it's going to give you an advantage. It's going to give you a leg up against guys that are bigger, faster, stronger than you. So let's watch it from the beginning again. Again, we motion over. We can see what the defense is in. We wide depart, we get vertical, we fight through contact, and we get to our spot. First down, Giants. So again, Brian Daboll was able to use Malik Nabers throughout the course of the year, through a lot of and put him through a lot of pre-snap motion to, one, clear up what the defense is running, not only for the quarterback but for the receivers, to identify man or zone, and to put Malik Nabers in a position to where he can win. And you saw on all three of these routes, Malik Nabers took full advantage of the motion and route familiarity to win. And there's so much you can do off of just simple motions like this, to the stack, away from the stack, to the bunch, away from the bunch. So much you could do. The +2 split, -1 split, reduce split. I mean, we could talk for days. There's so much you could do on these motions. But right here, Brian Daboll put Malik Nabers in position to win. Great year for the rookie. He ended the year with 109 catches on 177 targets for 1,204 yards and 7 touchdowns. But let's go and be even more creative, because next season, I think Daboll gets more creative to get Nabers the ball, with not only putting him in motion more, but maybe letting him run routes out the backfield like we see the Vikings do for Justin Jefferson. I'm just saying, sky's the limit with this kid. In his case, creativity breeds casualties. This dude is going to kill these DBs on these routes. And that's today's Break It Down, B. London.